Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. What I have here is a PLC program on electric gate controller. You know, those electric gates that you can actually open and close remotely. I've used this logic module, the iSMART, the iSMART logic module. It's a baby PLC. I've actually used a function block diagram programming format. You can use the ladder format, no problem with that. This is one of the simplest way of programming logic modules using function block diagram. Ladder programming also very much simple, and you can see that you are actually using logic gates here, but in a program form, right? I've always thought of actually building this kind of setup using physical logic ICs. The program diagram here is not very clean as I would have wanted it, but well, I tried to cluster them together so that you can actually see on simulation, right? You can use the Siemens logo if you want. You can use the Mitsubishi Alpha. You can use the one by ABB. What is the other one? The Telemechanic Zelio. They are all basically the same kind of logic modules. They are baby PLCs. They have PLC functions, but scaled down to limited functions. So this one I've done the electric gate controller program, and I did also traffic lights controller programs, but I'll share with you the electric gate controller. The electric gate controller I've also done with the PIC 16F819. Right. What I've done here is, as you can see, is you have your input here, remote input or a push button input. You have your limit switches here, closed, open limit switch, and then closed limit switch, and then infrared beam for an obstruction. You can add on the load sensor input, but I try to be as simple as possible here. Right. On simulation, you see you have a run here. This program is free. You can download on the internet on IMO Precision Controls website. You can choose to run on the module. It looks basically plus minus like this, and you can run it as this. I was supposed to say no here. Alright, okay, back, say no, sorry, back, right, okay. What I can do is I can just give back. Right, right, let's simulate and see what happens. First, when you switch it on, the closed limit switch is operated, meaning that the gate is closed. That's a choice, of course, right? So it's choice. The gate is somewhere when you start, of course. Gate is somewhere, but in any case, it should be closed, right? Then you tell it to open. You see that the open output here turns on. Then it runs for some time, and then it gets to a point where when it is open, it gets to the open limit switch, which is open limit switch number 3, right? And then after some time you enter and then you tell it to close. It must be closing now. It's closing. This one is, the output is on, and then it gets to a point where it gets to the limit switch open, which is the closed limit switch number 2, right? Suppose you try to open it, then there is an obstruction. No problem, it's still opening. Right, it gets to a point where it is actually opened, gets to an open limit switch, right? Let's close it. It's now closing, and then obstruction. What happens with the obstruction? It stops everything. And then can you close it? No, there is an obstruction. Okay. There is an obstruction. So open, the closing is automatic. To wait until it is now closing by itself. Then it gets to close limit switch, right? So it's closed. So when there is an obstruction, it stops, and then as long as the obstruction is there, it will not close. But when the obstruction is out, it will auto close. Well, you can improve that program. I think you can also include that you can actually instruct it to close anyway, something like that. I think here I tried to be as simple as possible. This program, I did it long time. I don't know when, but anyway, you can improve it by adding the instruction to actually close it, force close it. Right, so this is the program, and I think it's straightforward and simple. You can use function block if you want. You choose when you are actually opening the program, to the first program, producing a file for your program, to choose function block, or you choose the ladder program. So we stop the simulation, and if you are running it here, you run it. You remember where is our input number 2 must be closed. That's the closed limit switch, right? You instruct it to open. You can see it's opening here, and then it gets to a point where it reaches the open limit switch, and then you close it. It's closing, and then it gets to a point where it gets to closed limit switch, right? So it's the same. This is how it looks basically, plus minus. These are analog inputs, which well, we do not have analog inputs. I think from the datasheet, analog inputs can be used as digital inputs. I think, if I remember very well, you can refer to that. So so this is electric gate controller, where you can use it for even machines, to actually open and close a door remotely. Right, thank you. I think that's all on logic module or PLCs. Right, any feedback, I think you can do on tauraimirimi@gmail.com. So if you are not familiar with the PLCs and other, please get someone who can help you with that. Thank you very much. Enjoy programming.